fans. We'll be right back. Speed's presentation of NASCAR Sprint Cup qualifying for Pocono is presented by Subway Restaurants. So many $5 foot-long subs to choose from. Enjoy amazing value at Subway all day, every day.
You know, I feel like we should even expand just a little bit more as we watch Bobby Labonte start his qualifying run in the 71 car. Ryan was talking about the Hoosier rubber, and you talked about that's what the ARCA cars that just qualified, what they have. It's not that the rubber is a different rubber. It's a different compound. It's a little stickier than these Goodyear tires, and that rubber goes on the racetrack, and until a few of the Cup cars run, to kind of change that rubber that's down, it just gives the car a little bit different feel.
Bobby Labonte, a three-time winner here. Larry, I thought you were going to expand on the Subway footlong promo there for a second.
No.
You went right to it. That was great.
I just wanted to make sure and make that point before it became real old news.
Put a period on it.
Put a period on it.
You're the man.
Old news?
Yeah. A few more cars, the Hoosier rubber will be old news. Bobby was 32nd quickest in practice earlier at a 54.70. Has those 4 wins here, all when he drove for Joe Gibbs Racing, the 18 car. You'll see most of these cars up the racetrack just a little bit. A few years ago, they put a new patch all the way through turn 3 that's about halfway up the racetrack. They were having troubles with the racetrack there. They said, it won't be a big deal to put that patch because it's so far off the groove. Shoot, the minute they opened for practice, cars went straight to that fresh asphalt to gain grip. But I was talking, I don't know.
Tony Stewart, though, still the man to beat. We know that. Qualifying continues here at the Pocono Raceway. 37 car. David Gilliland up to speed. We go back to Ralph Shaheen.
And we're on the run, too, with Jimmy Johnson. Now, you were saying, because you got to go to Watkins Glen right now, and you were saying the car's a little loose?
Yeah, I got loose down to 1, which I didn't expect. I've got to look and see maybe what I did differently down there or what went on. I mean, the car was flawless in practice, so disappointed with that lap. It's not what we expected, but it's a long 500-mile race, and I know we've got a good race car.
By the way, you guys qualified second. You're starting on the front row.
Awesome. That's cool. I wish we were front row here. This is the one that pays the bills, and unfortunately, just got a little too loose down there in 1.
All right, Jimmy Johnson's on his way to the Watkins Glen.
All right, thank you, Ralph, and he is on the move.
David Gilliland in this 37 car. We see him going out early for the first time in a few weeks because after finishing 26 at the Coke 600 last week, this 37 team popped back into the top 35. That's a moving target every week.
It's a dogfight every week.
Robbie Gordon in the 7, which Ted Musgrave will be qualifying Robbie's car for him since Robbie's down in Baja or running the off-road. I don't think he's actually Baja, but he's running the off-road truck, but outside the top 35 now after Charlotte.
He's in Mexico.
Somewhere down there.
Baja.
It is Baja.
You went to Mexico, didn't you?
I did.
Over the holidays?
Holidays a year ago.
Senior Larry.
Yep. I know why they call Sammy Hagar's place Cabo.
Many guys who are chatting on the radio with teammates to see how the track is reacting, and we'll find out who he's on the radio with. Who are you dialing up there?
Steve, just talking to the crew chief. Just trying to figure out what the track's doing. Jimmy just went out and had a moment, so just trying to figure out what direction we went into, and if we went far enough. I feel like we're going to be good here, but you never know. This is one of those places where you go pick up a second sometimes from practice to qualifying, and it's really hard to figure out the balance in the grip level when you're doing that.
Well, and you were one of those guys who was really good in race trim, then you switched to practice, and it was okay. What's going on there, you think?
It's just some people's packages, they're able to find that speed that they need for that one lap for qualifying. Our DuPont Chevrolet has been really good all day, but I do feel like when we went to qualifying trim, we were pretty much getting the max out of it. There wasn't a whole lot left, and we were still good. I mean, I think we're still better than what we've been here. Drew a pretty good number here. Did a cloud cover. We'll see if we go the right direction or went the right direction and how we guess for the setup, and hopefully hopefully it'll pay off for us.
Yeah, that cloud cover never hurts. We were talking about the car in race trim. He said it was excellent. In qualifying trim, he felt it was just about a top 10 car. Steve?
Now Clint Boyer is the man to beat. Can Juan Pablo get him? Boyer in a Chevrolet is now the man to beat here at qualifying. 23 of 45 drivers have taken time. Travis Quapple up next in that Long John Silver, number 38. We go to Marty Snyder.
And I think that lap impressed Juan Pablo Montoya. We were hanging out, and he said, wow, that was impressive. Man, I tell you what, the last 2 weeks, you guys have had fast cars. Just, probably wish you had the reset button to kind of start those races over, don't you?
It's okay, and for some reason last week we had a really good car in practice and everything, and just race side it was a handful. It's fun, way to be fans. It's one of those deals. But, this target car has been pretty good. We were good in practice today, but, with this cloud, sun coming in and out all the time, it's anybody's game.
Never know what you're going to get. Speaking of never knowing what you're going to get, you're doing trackside tonight. Are you sure you know what you're getting into with those guys?
Yeah, I'm always pretty prepared.
You can handle yourself with Larry Mack and Jeff and those guys?
Yeah, we're pretty good normally.
All right. That's a warning, guys. So Juan's going to come with some stuff tonight for you boys, okay?
He normally does, Marty.
You're going to say, Steve, can you handle him? That's the question. He's thrown you a couple times a change-up.
Almost got me in trouble at Indy. Was that last year or the year before?
Almost got you in trouble.
Almost.
I got called to the principal's office, and they dragged you along with it.
Oh, yeah, just drugged me right across there.
And Jeff.
I was guilty by association.
Hey, you go with
Allmendinger, the final driver who is locked into the show, knockout qualifying up next here at Pocono, and it's only on speed. Take a look at where our go or go home drivers positioned themselves in the first practice here at Pocono.
Yeah, I think I was really impressed with Max Pappas pulling that lap out like he did late in practice. And Steady Eddie at number 66, Dave Blaney, he's always been able to be able to lay down a pretty impressive lap when it counts.
And a lot of experience for Dave Blaney, 20 Pocono starts.
And with 45 cars being here, that means 2 cars will not make this show.
Hey Larry, you've got to believe when you see guys' names like Bodine and Musgrave there, you wonder what are they doing? What are they doing? Ted Musgrave substituting for Robbie Gordon, who's down in Mexico, and Jeffrey Bodine. Well, he's just, as he always likes to say, just trying to have some fun.
And Tommy Baldwin Racing giving him a little chance to have some fun.
That's it.
That 36 car.
Well, Jeffrey's got such a good track record when it comes to Pocono, so it's like, why not stick a veteran like him down in the car?
I believe I read Steve Park's going to drive Tommy's car at Daytona.
You're right. And how about Greg Sachs going to drive for Junior Motorsports in the Nationwide Series?
What a great story that was. Greg Sachs driving an R&D car for Dygaard at Daytona, 4th of July. Didn't even know he was in the lead. Yes, Mr. Hammond.
But he figured it out. I'm just wondering, all of a sudden we got Musgrave coming back from retirement. We got Bodine coming back from retirement. Greg Sachs coming back. You don't guess...
I know who you're thinking, but there's a lady named Stevie that's not going to have no part of that.
No, I think I'll go one step further than that. There's a gentleman named Hill that won't allow that to happen.
Him too.
Miss Waltrip and Mr. Hill are in cahoots on that whole program.
Well, you might be able to sway one, but I don't think you're going to convince the other.
Collusion.
That's it.
53.97 for Dave. Now, I think as we were into these go or go homers, we didn't have a single car in the top 35 that even remotely attempted a second lap. They pretty much shut it down before they even got to turn 1. The go or go homers, unless you really bust off a good lap, or if we get late in the session and you're locked in, you pretty much have to go ahead and run that second lap. I think it will be to no avail because running another 2.5 miles, the engine's getting warmer, tires are losing more and more grip. It's just hard to run faster on lap 2.
And to be honest with you, Larry, years.
Well, once we have 2 cars of this group that's put their qualifying efforts in, if you just beat 2 cars, you're locked in then.
Yep.
Dave Blaney, followed by David Stremme, Jeff Bodine, and Robbie Gordon. Of course, Jeff just said Ted Musgrave in the 7 car while Gordon races in Mexico.
David was 6th quickest of the go or go homers. This little 2016 did not qualify for the show in the Coke 600 last week. You know, while David's qualifying, I want to make a note of something that the people here at Pocono are doing, the Mattiolis. You know, we're talking about everybody and everything working on Going Green. And scheduled for completion in late July, it's their new 3.0 megawatt solar farm. And when completed, Pocono Raceway will become the largest green sports facility in the world. And not only will it supply power for the racetrack, but also for some local homes nearby. So a great thing. I saw it yesterday
drove by it,
outside the short chute. That's a great thing that the Mattiolis and the people here are doing at Pocono Raceway.
And also, Larry, we meant to mention this during practice earlier, and we want to express our condolences to the family of Richard Jackson. He was a longtime car owner in the Sprint Cup Series. He and his brother Leo out of Asheville, North Carolina. He passed away at age 74 earlier this week, and our thoughts and condolences to the Jackson family.
Absolutely.
So, yes.
And Richard was 74.
Be very much missed, but he was very instrumental in giving a lot of people an opportunity, like Bob Presley, Harry Gant. I mean, just so many different people that drove and was associated with their organization.
So David Stretch signing some autographs. We'll be right back. Take a look at our Gillette menu here on Speed Trackside. That'll be fun. That's next. Juan Pablo Montoya and Tony Stewart will join us. And from the Texas Motor Speedway at 8:30 Eastern, it's the Camping World Truck Series setup with Chris Devoda. And at 9 Eastern, you'll see him race.
Now, speaking of the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series race down in Texas, of course, Johnny Sauter is there, who's been driving this 36 car. Johnny will be back in the car next week at Michigan because the trucks are racing up there on Saturday before the Cup race.
Well, Jeff Bodine has 18 career wins. Let's see what the 61-year-old out of Chemung, New York has left in his bag of tricks.
Jeff, the car looked, best way I can put it, nervous.
I can say exactly the same thing. Looked very nervous through 3.
39 Pocono starts for Bodine.
And right now, he needs to beat a 53.97, which is Dave Blaney, and that would put him into the show.
He didn't hit the curb that time, Larry, which is a good thing.
And right now, he's pretty much laying right there about where David Stremme qualified. David's 35th right now in that 26 car.
Jeffrey was 41st in the earlier practice at a 55.13, so needs to find a little bit of speed here.
Well, he beats David Stremme by 4/100ths of a second, and honestly, I know we got to go a little bit into this session. That could be huge right there.
Be very huge.
Talked about it earlier, Jeff Bodine with 3 wins. So can anyone knock that guy from the pole position? Kyle Busch, we'll find out. Back at the Pocono Raceway, NASCAR Sprint Cup qualifying continues. The 09 car driven this week by Terry Cook.
Yeah, Mike Bliss has been running this car, but Mike is actually at Nashville for the Nationwide Series. Terry tentatively be in the car next week. Pretty interesting going to Infineon with this 09 car in a couple of weeks. Jan Mangensen from Formula One, who did some Formula One racing, has actually been doing a lot of road course testing for Hendrick Motorsports of late, will be in the car out at Infineon in 2 weeks.
In the 09 car.
Yes.
Yeah. Terry with 314 truck starts.
As you watch this 09, here's what you're looking for, folks. Is that green line is, that's what he needs to be in front of if he wants to lock himself into the field.
That represent David Stremme right now. David's time of 54.45. Right now, Terry is not looking that good on this first lap. Car just all over the place. Again, killed lap 1 if he's going to run lap 2, and I think he's got to run lap 2.
He's got to try.
Killed lap 2.
He's got to try. And all of a sudden, it looks like turn 3 has just lost all grip. Ted Musgrave as well as Terry Cook, car's really sliding around. He can't hold it nowhere right now. It's all over the racetrack.
He overdrove that corner, drove it way too deep. I mean, when you see the tracker go way that way, that's normally a sign that you overdrove the corner.
How about Jeff Bodine being locked into the field?
Locked in.
That is very cool. 61 years old when he takes the green flag. 41 years older than Joey Logano. How much old is he? How much more older is Hammond than Jeff Bodine? Got to do the math.
Easy now. You're not talking about Dick Berggren over here.
Actually slows down quite a bit, but that will lock David Stremme.
Let's take another look at Terry Cook's wild ride here, coming off 3.
Car gets in and just never takes a good set, and he's trying to get back in the throttle, and it just all over the racetrack.
No rear grip whatsoever. And Jeff, you know, I think this gives you a much clearer picture.
It's a
that
delicate
could
balance.
be what's happening with these go-homers, but they get aggressive trying to help straightaway speed.
Yep.
Let's go back to Marty.
Well, at 61 years young, Jeffrey Bodine hauled it off in there in turn 1, and you gained an entire second from practice. Congratulations, great job.
Yeah, thanks. It felt like the Bodine bobsled down there in turn 1, kind of slipping and sliding all around, but we're really happy to be here. Tommy Baldwin gave me this chance. Johnny Sauter did a great job last week at Charlotte. He's in Texas. Good luck to you, Johnny, tonight. Of course, my brother Todd too. And but we're here, so we're happy about that. And I hope there's more times that I'm here at the track with Tommy and the guys.
I know you were saying these young guys were good, but was it as much fun for you as you thought it would be?
Yeah, look at I'm not shaking at all.
A little bit.
Well, that's just I'm out of breath. Nah, I've done this so long. I didn't get nervous. Concerned, of course, but I drove it in deep. I needed to pick up. We did. We drove it in every corner a little deeper. I learned a long time ago, and DW and all the drivers can relate to what I'm going to say. If you scare yourself in practice, you don't have a chance in qualifying. So I didn't scare myself in practice by going too deep and getting sideways. I did it out in qualifying, but that's okay.
That's a good theory to follow, isn't it, Larry Mack and Jeff? Don't scare your driver in practice, guys.
Nope. Scare him in practice. You can write him off in qualifying.
Exactly.
Now, J.J. Yaley, I would hope they'll be on the radio calling him in because, once again, he has qualified on time. He will race on Sunday.
Dave Blaney, J.J. Yaley, Jeff Bodine, and David Stremme all locked in.
You're 54-22, 54-22 officially.
I was going to say, don't give him the time. Just tell him to stop.
That's all you need to tell him then.
Final drivers to qualify, Joe Neiman. Speed into Father's Day at Infineon Raceway in Sonoma for the Toyota Save Mart 350. Visit the speed stage all weekend and sign up to win the ultimate Father's Day race package. You can win the chance to watch the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series race from the pits and much, much more. Just go to speed.com, keyword promo. Front row Joe Nemechek in that 87 car. 30 Pocono starts, including a pole back in 1997.
Joe was plenty fast enough in practice.
Yes,
he was fourth quickest of those go-home cars.
The question I got for you, Larry, a minute ago, you were talking about my age versus Jeffrey Bodine's age. What state are you from?
What state am I from?
Yeah. Where were you born?
Alabama.
That explains it.
What's his point?
It's getting ugly up here.
What's his point?
People from Alabama know how to
Well,
act.
he's saying he's younger than.
Oh, okay, okay.
You're a little dyslexic, maybe?
It's like my golf game. I just figured out the low score is better.
You want to get your money's worth, right?
Yeah.
Just keep hitting the ball.
Left, right, left, right.
Right now, something about somebody getting their money's worth. Right now, Joe Nemechek, if he can keep it coming, he will make this race for Sunday.
Yeah, he's actually working on being the fastest of the go-home cars. Didn't get through the tunnel turn that good.
Can't afford to do that off of 3 or he'll give up way too much. So nice and easy here, Joe.
Had a good, solid qualifying run last week at Charlotte.
Good turn
Qualified 19th.
3. Good turn 3.
I believe he will be the fastest of the Go homers. Locked in, 29th quickest.
53.87. It's out of your hands at this point.
Well, from Musgrave and him, yes. But from McCumbee and him, it's like don't beat yourself type scenario. It's like here with Max Pappas, how hard do you need to go in the corner to make it, where you can, get a good enough lap down.
And that's my big fear of Max Pappas. Talking to my NASCAR Performance Crew Chief buddy, Booty Barker, what Max really gets guilty of is overdriving the entrance of the corner, especially at a place that's so hit your mark and line sensitive like this racetrack at Pocono.
But you would think with his road racing experience, it'd be easy for him to discipline himself enough to say, okay, this is what I did when I ran the earlier lap, which a 54.45 would automatically lock him into this field. He could repeat that. No, he doesn't need any more. All he needs is to repeat what he did earlier.
And that's a great point. You don't try to go get me anymore. Don't give me 110%. Just give me that 100.
That's right.
This team has actually not qualified for 3 out of the last 4 races.
Made 8 of the first 9 this year.
Really picked up the throttle nice off turn 1.
He nailed turn 1 right there, Larry. He really did. That was a great lap right there through turn 1 for him. Now, you're way ahead on the list right now, buddy. Just ease it through the tunnel turn. Ease it through the tunnel turn.
Don't hit the curb.
And he did. He didn't overdrive the tunnel turn.
That was a sweet-looking corner there.
Yes,
now,
sir.
Don't overdrive turn 3. Let that thing roll through there, and don't pick the throttle up till the car tells you, okay,
Exactly.
go.
Be smooth. Be smooth. There you go. Just feed it to it gently. Feed it to it gently.
Little on the free side
That's
there,
all
but he's
right.
going to be in great shape. He will race on Sunday.
I'll say 20th.
Great lap, man. Good job. Great lap. You're
20th overall for Max Pappas.
And we are good.
Pay more for TV. So final 2 drivers to have at it today, Chad McCumbee in the 64 and Michael McDowell in the 55, and Kyle Busch likely to hang on for the pole position.
Now, Chad was the slowest of the go-home cars earlier today. He has a couple of cup starts here driving for Petty Enterprises and has 1 win in the ARCA series here. Got through turn 1 decent. I was a little afraid he wasn't going to get off the corner good, but it seemed to be good enough that he didn't lose a lot of ground late exit.
Now, he's definitely not guilty of overcharging the corners. He's making the most up on a late exit.
And these final 2 cars, Chad McCumbee and Michael McDowell, of course, Michael McDowell was one of the quicker go-home cars. You've absolutely got optimum conditions. It's not going to get any better than what you've got right now with the cloud covering and all. And it looks like to me that Mr. McCumbee is going to race on Sunday.
Yes, sir.
And Ted Musgrave for Robbie Gordon, who's in Mexico right now, will not race. So Robbie will not be in the show on Sunday. But good for Mr. Chad McCumbee. He will race on Sunday.
So who will it be? Terry Cook or Michael McDowell? Now, Michael has shown that he's had enough speed in his car to make this race.
He ran for Michael Waltrip Racing both races in 2008. His best start was 35th, and his best finish was 24th out of those 2 races.
Best start this year, 12th at Phoenix. Phoenix is a flat track. Any characteristics that carry over, even though this track is much bigger?
I'll tell you what, if you can negotiate that place and have a feel for it, I think you should be able to do well here, because there's certain things that are similar to turn 1, as well as when you get to turn 3 and 4 and Phoenix, similar to the tunnel turn and going back into turn 3. So, I mean, it's a contrary racetrack.
And even though this surface is much rougher, but a lot of the drivers, especially with the way the testing policy is now, said that if you come out of here good, with a feeling that you perform well, that you do feel like you go to Indianapolis in about a month and a half with some confidence.
It looked like Michael Gal has nailed this lap, put himself in the field at 32nd position.
Yeah, that bumps Terry Cook out in the 09. So Terry Cook and Ted Musgrave will